All right. Thank you so much for your patience, guys. I appreciate, again, everybody taking the time here to join us and learn more about agent onboarding and a little bit about recruitment and how we can improve that process as well. Unfortunately, last minute, Regina was unable to make it, but that's not a problem. I got my trusted colleague, Jen, who will be joining us today.
Hey everybody, my name's Jen Rocky. Also an account executive here at Brokerment. Daniel and I talk to several brokerages on a day-to-day basis from coast to coast. We're really excited to have you all here today. We really want you to consider us as a resource for you to help you grow and scale your business.
All right. Thanks, Jen. And I appreciate you attending as well. So for those of you that don't know, Brokerman is a contract to close platform. So we do everything from document management, task management, e-signature, as well as commission tracking, and having a lot of really cool integrations, whether it's your CRM, MLS, QuickBooks, the list kind of goes on and on. But today the topic is going to be on, again, agent onboarding and talking about recruitment. And going into 2020, obviously everybody's looking to grow their business. So that's really going to be our focal point today. So this particular feature was actually developed by the needs of our clients. So that's kind of the interesting thing about Brokerman is, we really are always trying to stay up with the trends in the real estate industry and making sure that we have the technology to help make your lives easier and ultimately streamline what you guys do day to day. I think for really any company, the goal is to do more volume and grow your business. So the question is, how do you really accomplish it if you kind of continue to do things the way that they've always been done? You need new goals, and typically you're going to need some new processes and technology to help make that a simpler and smoother process for you. So we're going to jump into it, and I do have a quick question for all of you guys. And the question is pretty simple. I mean, how many agents do you guys plan on recruiting, whether it's towards the end of this year? Obviously, this year is winding down, so maybe your aspirations for 2020. And there you guys go. You should be able to see the answers there. All right. So quite a lot of results. It looks like a pretty good mix. So a lot of 1 to 10s, quite a lot of 10 to 20 and 20 to 50. So a little bit of everything. Okay, fantastic. So to kind of set a quick agenda for you guys today, one of the things that we're going to be talking about is Regina Brown and what she does and what she's able to provide to hundreds of brokerages across the country. We're actually going to be providing this to you today for free, and it's a really nice onboarding packet, but it's got a lot of pre-made forms for you, as well as just a lot of really, really useful information specifically related to recruitment and, of course, just growing your business in general. And then we're going to jump into the program itself and talk about how does it work in Brokerman. With all of her really useful material, at the end of the day, using our technology, you're able to really customize it to meet your specific business needs and kind of how you guys operate overall. And then Jen, I think you've got some good news to share with everybody as well.
Yes, sir. So I did just post that link to the bit.ly/Brokerment so you can have access to those documents. And as a special bonus, we're going to offer you 50% off the first 3 months for new clients that join us. So stay tuned for the end. We're going to offer a special discount code.
All righty. That's always fun. So, who is Regina Brown? I mean, she's really close with us, and I know her very well personally. She's been in the industry for over 30 years. I mean, she's worked as an agent. She's ran several brokerages, focusing on everything from commercial to residential, property management, kind of the whole litany list. For her and the conversations with her when she was really focused on her business, she kind of struggled for a little while as a mom and pop shop. Just couldn't really get to that next level. And ultimately, she realized, you got to change your processes. And what she began to do is starting to look at some of the most successful brokerages across the country and kind of figuring out what they did successfully to not only grow their agent roster, but to just do more volume and be a more successful business. And really because of that, she's now in a position where she's helping hundreds of brokerages across the country, providing this information that actually Jen just sent you guys that link. So I definitely encourage you to check that out because she is just a wealth of knowledge on, overall how to improve your business. So the next thing I wanted to jump into, Jen, I'm going to let you take the reins here.
Sure. So one reason, again, that we do host these webinars, as I did mention in the beginning, is that we really want to be here as a resource for you. Brokerment, we're looking to create a community of brokers and realtors that we can really bounce things off of each other and help each other succeed. So I'm sure a lot of you are on Facebook, just want to put it out there, but we have created a community and a support system. So if you're interested in connecting with us, please search for Brokerment, one word, on Facebook and join that group for us. I want to share some statistics for you regarding our topic. So did you know that it takes approximately 10 hours and costs up to $750 to hire and onboard each agent at a broker? Nearly every brokerage and agency has at least one employment horror story. Maybe agents are handling deals that they don't have the proper documentation, or they could be mistreating deals, causing internal strife within the agents that you already have hired. But with the proper training and onboarding in place, you can really have a better ability to be able to screen your agents and be sure that they're a good fit for your company culture, as well as that they align with your business goals. And one way with Brokerment that we're able to help you, and we can be a huge asset to your hire process, is that you have full control and visibility into the progress through that onboarding steps. And if the agent doesn't have the required paperwork or even the proper licensing, they're not able to run transactions until all the steps are completed and you approve them to have access. So this alone can really greatly minimize the compliance risk and ensure that all requirements are met prior to allowing that agent to represent your brokerage. So with that being said, we have another poll here, and I'm going to share some information that Regina provided us with, but are you happy with your onboarding process? We really want to help. So one of the documents that Regina has shared with us, it's a simple application form that she created, and it has some key information that you should know before hiring. With that, there's 4 tips that she highly recommends. So I'm going to share those with you. One, she says she highly recommends doing background checks and confirming that their license is active in the state that you're working in. Another suggestion is to absolutely track where your agents are being referred to you so that you know how to get your best return on investment for your recruiting efforts. A third recommendation is to be proactive and prompt your agents at least 60 to 90 days prior to their license expiration so that they're able to meet their continuing education requirements and keep their license active. And lastly, find out what kind of experience they had prior to working with your brokerage, because that's really going to help you determine the type of compensation plan that you want to set them up with, as well as what kind of commitment they may need from you and your team. If they're new to real estate, they might need more hand-holding, they might need coaching, maybe mentoring or training, but maybe you'd prefer to work with someone with more years of experience that can be self-sufficient. So these are just some tips and things to consider as you're prospecting and recruiting new agents for your company.
All right, perfect, Jen. And that's kind of interesting. I mean, you think like 10 hours, that's like a pretty significant amount of time. And kind of looking at the poll questions, it looks like everybody's kind of in that middle ground of, yeah, you're happy, but there's room for improvement. And I think that's pretty common with most brokerages that we talk to day in and day out. And so what I wanted to jump into next is really Brokerment and how you can leverage this information that we'll be providing you guys. Looks like there's some trouble with the link, so we'll be resending that here shortly to you. But leveraging that information that Regina's so graciously provided us with technology, because at the end of the day, you got to determine the right steps to improve your recruitment process, and then automate the steps to get them onboarded, so you're not investing tons of time, chasing down paperwork. And really, at the end of the day, it's a firewall for prohibiting non-compliant agents from parking their license with you guys. So what I'd like to share with you guys really quickly is how Brokerment can actually make that process much easier for you. For those of you that don't know, I mean, Brokerment is an extremely customizable platform on the user end. And so with Regina's materials, she's got a lot of these checklists already laid out, but of course there might be some specific nuances or just different things that you need to do in order to suit your business needs. So all of these items are completely 100% customizable. And the process itself is very simple. So let's say oh, and by the way, before I jump into that, what I notice a lot of companies that we work with do, they'll sometimes have 2 different types of checklists. Maybe one for like an agent that's fresh out of school, where maybe we need a little bit more hand holding. versus maybe a more tenured agent where that process might be a little bit simpler for them. Now, the process in Brokerman is very simple. So in Brokerman, what you're going to do is you're going to add in a new user into your account. And the great thing is, again, just to reiterate the customization. So this section that we're looking at here is really just basic data that you need to track for your agents and or employees, whether that's a cap that they need to hit. A lot of people will set agent goals. And Jen, one thing you touched on that I think is really valuable is like agent referral source. You know, where are you getting a lot of agents from? Are your marketing efforts paying off? And ultimately, you know, what's working for you guys? So what would happen is once you'd added in this user, that person would get a link to a checklist. So they don't have access to Brokerman itself, but the checklist would look somewhat similar to this, just depending on your own specific needs. And the really great thing about it is that you have your forms in here and they're mapped out, they're ready for e-signature. So it's all done in one consolidated spot. And I think this makes it extremely easy, you know, year after year, if you need to renegotiate commission terms, get some additional paperwork, you're not kind of trying to figure out where is all this stuff located. It's all in this folder for the agent. So it just makes it extremely simple and really easy on the back end for you guys to manage. One of the things that we get a lot of good feedback about, again, is the e-sign and just having this all done within one platform. One of the things that we haven't talked about, but it's unlimited document storage. So, you know, this stuff is never going anywhere for you guys. All right. So what I'd like to do now is just sort of open it up to everyone for a little Q&A here. Please, you know, let's kind of keep it on topic of the agent onboarding. And for any kind of additional questions, we'll definitely be reaching out to you guys to set up some one-on-one kind of more in-depth consultations.
Looks like we did have one question in. Roman's asking if we're recording the webinar, and absolutely we're going to share this and be able to broadcast it to all of you. And again, apologies for the link. I'm going to have to, we can send out the email of all the documents. That link for some reason is not working, but we will absolutely be sure to get you that information.
Oh, timing's everything, right? Of course it wouldn't work right in the middle.
Of course, I know.
But don't fret, we will get that stuff over to you guys. So yeah, please just opening up the door for you guys for any questions you guys want to talk about. So good question. So in terms of recruiting, Brokerman is a transaction management platform. So it's not really where you're like recruiting agents, but the material that we're going to be providing you from Regina Brown, that's going to go really, really in depth on effective recruiting methods and what's proven to be successful for hundreds of brokerages. All right. Any other kind of, oh, here we go. So the question is, would the checklist be broker facing or would the agents have visibility as to what items need to be accomplished? So it's kind of both. It's really dependent on how you set up the template. It's actually a really good question because with those checklist templates for onboarding, you have the ability to assign tasks to different people. But once the agent has completed that checklist, they don't really have like access to it unless you've given them access to it or they've asked for the documentation. You can certainly provide it to them. And yeah, you know, you can definitely check out the webinar another time. We're also going to be sending you guys a recording of this. And just to reiterate, you know, whether you go with Brokerman or not, obviously, I think it's the best solution out there. But at the end of the day, what Regina's provided to us is very, very valuable. And again, it's at no cost to you guys. Not only does it go into recruiting, as the previous question had mentioned, but there's just so much more information that she provides, whether it's standard operations information, and just, you know, general business plans. I mean, her whole focus is on improving and growing business. And so she's got a really, really tremendous amount of useful information there.
Here's a good question from Steve Fowler. Are all forms interactive so they can be filled out online? Within the platform, we do have the ability for you to upload a form and be able to map that out. So the answer is yes, you'd certainly be able to do that within the system.
And Josh has a good question about getting additional or past or historical information into Brokerman platform, which you can do. And there's several ways to do it. Of course, you can go in and enter that data into our system, which we encourage because it's a great way to kind of self-teach yourself and just familiarize yourself with the system. We also have some kind of importing methods, but it's a little bit more of a one-on-one question. And Josh, we'll be reaching out to you to kind of discuss that a little bit more in depth. All right. Well, as Jen had mentioned, the good news is for all of you guys in attendance today, we are going to be offering you the first 3 months at a 50% discount. If you guys have any kind of immediate questions, here's my contact info. I'm happy to jump on a call or schedule some time to have a little bit more of a one-on-one consultation. Again, focus on your guys' specific business needs. But I can't thank you all enough for attending today, and really appreciate it. And we really hope that you guys got some useful information out of it, and look forward to speaking with you. Again, Brokerman's a really robust platform that can automate a lot of your day-to-day processes. So we certainly look forward to sharing a lot more about that with you all.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Look forward to seeing you on the next webinar.
All right. Thanks again, Jen. And thank you again for everybody in attendance today. Have a wonderful rest of the day.